Hello, this is Megan Morian for BestOfAtlantaConcerts.com, here for this edition of Artist Talk at the Apache Cafe with the Jaspects. Tonight they're hosting a CD release party for their newest album, The Polka Dotted Stripe, and I'm so glad you guys could be here with me tonight. Could you guys tell me a little bit about the group and how it came to be?
Megan, the conception of Jaspects started on the monumentous grounds of Morehouse College in the year 2003. It was actually our freshman year, second semester of our freshman year for the majority of the band, and we were all members of the Morehouse College, jazz band, large ensemble, but, we also wanted to expound, do other things. So we had the opportunity, things came about, some brainstorming, and then one night we all got together and said, let's start a group of our own. And we didn't have a name for it at the time. We just a bunch of guys came together. And then the next year, 2004, John Christopher came to Morehouse College. He joined the group. And then we've been going strong since then.
Excellent. I know you guys operate out of Atlanta, but you're all originally from different parts of the country. So how did you all end up here?
Well, again, we were all students of the illustrious Morehouse College, and so we came from our hometowns and met up there and just got together on the campus.
Sounds good. Your music is obviously a very unique and kind of revolutionary idea. Can you explain it and tell how you developed the concept to the point where it is today?
Revolutionary.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, well, we started out as musicians in the jazz band, and over time we began to realize that we were limiting ourselves when we were just doing jazz, because we grew up in the hip-hop era, the 80s. We are 80s babies, and we noticed that we had so much in us. You too? Good, dope. We noticed that we had so much in us and that we weren't using, so we just decided to kind of tap into that side. So over time, we began to mix the musician side of us, which lacks a lot in today's music, and the artist side of us, which is totally prevalent in today's music. Everybody has a great image, but some people aren't just as musical as we are. So that's one of the things we try to push more than anything. And so I think that's what makes our music revolutionary, is because it's a mixture of the most elite musician can hear our music and find something in it, as well as the most non-musical person. You know what I mean? They all can find something in our music. So that's what makes us revolutionary.
Awesome, thank you. Can you explain how the music is debunking the industry's notion of genres? I liked that.
Once again, we like to tie in the fact that we're from all over. So we take our influences from home, and we mix those with the influences that we've learned in school or in church or in the orchestra or in the jazz band or wherever in the city, and listening to the influential people here, both on the mainstream and underground tip. And then we take those all and put them into a pot and just mix them up. So you can't necessarily tell all the time where one song comes from. There may be a little bit pulled from here and a little bit pulled from there, and it's a collaborative effort. So you can't really put the distinction of a genre on that, because it's cross genres. There's several different elements that go into making each of our songs.
And also, I think that quote specifically was referring to the Polka Dotted Stripe, the album. And this album in particular is us tapping into ourselves truly and recognizing that we're not just one thing. We're debunking the notion of, okay, they got instruments, so they're a jazz group. Or, okay, so they rap, so they're a rap group. No, we do it all. We do it all. Don't put us in a box, because we're much bigger than that box you're going to try to fit us in, for real. So that's why we are the Polka Dotted Stripe. Okay?
The name of the album makes a lot more sense now. Yeah. Can you tell me how the music on your new album, The Polka Dotted Stripe, has evolved beyond and transcended your past albums?
Well, in the past albums, we were traditionally more jazz focused, because we were coming from Morehouse College once again, and we had a rich history of the African American experience in America. And so our early albums, what's the first album? House Sessions was primarily more jazz, smooth jazz type of music. But now we started to delve into other things that we listen to: hip hop, R&B, rock, classical. I mean, so we try to infuse those elements, and it's pretty much something that you can't deny, you know what I'm saying, because it is who we are. And so, you know, this album, Spoke Out of Stripe, is pretty much, you see James, Henry, Terrence, Jay, John, and myself, Dwayne. So that's pretty much what the progression of our albums, pretty much from jazz to now to just music, pretty much.
And in addition to that, it's also over the years that we have gotten more comfortable with ourselves and actually the voice that we want the world to hear from Jaspects. And just as our music has become more of our voice, we have seen the world and we have become more revolutionary. And in the fact that, you know, we see everybody getting classified as certain things, and our people, when our first albums came out, they tried to classify us as a jazz group. Then we were like, well, we're really not a jazz group. We have more music to say than that. Then our second album came out and was a compilation with a lot of people that we did a lot of music with. And then it came that y'all are a backup band. And then we were like, well, we're artists, so we want to come out with something that speaks to us. And then Double Consciousness came out. That really was the first album that we took time to really get comfortable with the world hearing who we are. And the Polka Dotted Stripe is really our voice. And letting the world know, like, this is Jaspects. We're not a jazz group, we're not a backup band, we're not this, but we're artists, and we're new artists to this world, and we are the Polka Dotted Stripe, artists that people have not seen before. So
you gotta add one thing to that. More notably, I mean, I guess what's most different is the fact that we are doing all the vocals, pretty much for every song, something we've never done. Like he said we normally have a feature on the song, but those vocals that you hear that you know that's gonna really tickle your ear. Three features, but mainly you're hearing the voices of myself, Dwayne Duggar, T. Brown, you know, and that's one of the biggest things people notice about this one.
Excellent. So now that y'all have established yourselves as the Polka Dotted Stripe, where do you expect your music to go in the future?
Well, really, it's not about our music as it is about music in general and where music is going. And the future is now. And just to be honest, it's like the whole notion of debunking all genres. That's where the future is headed to. You know, as we know, looking at the past, there's always a transitional period for a new era, a new genre, a new idea. So at this point, after everything that's going on in this country, negatively, it's time for researching something new. And that's why the debunking of, I mean, as we see in just the industry in general, the sales, people don't know what to do as far as, like, you know, placing people here doing this, that, how to make money, how to make revenue. So it's like they're for a loss now. And I think if they understand that everything that you thought you knew is out of the window as far as, you know, just everything about the industry and just the way the market works, doing things, everybody has to transition their mind. So kind of like that kind of is where music is going in general. So we like to be the, I can say, not the forefathers, but kind of like a part of the catalyst that makes that transition, trailblazers in a sense, you know. I just want to be in the I just want to be in the number. I just want to be in the number.
And also to add on to that, you know, everybody forgets that staff paper is made up of lines, and notes are made up of sheet music. Sheet music is made up of lines, or you could call that stripes, and then the notes are made up of actual dots. So the polka dotted stripe is just music. So this polka dotted stripe is really, or not even that, but in addition to what we're going to do, surpassing that, is just music. No genre, but just music. And yeah.